Hi, good morning, Anuja.
Good morning.
Mm. So I'm just going through your CV. Just give me a
Okay.
moment, please. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going through your CV, Anuja. Just give me a minute, okay?
Okay.
So 4 years experience in performance testing. You are working for CGI. Okay. All right. So can you give a brief introduction about yourself, Anuja?
Yeah, my name is Anusha. I have total experience, 5 years of IT experience, and the 2 year experience is in the tech support team, which is like chats and calling support. And currently I'm working in CGI, and I'm working in the change management project, and it is a Joshua bank. Yeah, now I have taken the training in performance testing with JMeter.
Okay. What is performance testing?
Yeah, it is a non-functional testing, and it is used to determine the application speed, scalability, reliability, and stability of the application.
Okay. It is non-functional testing to determine application speed, stability,
Speed,
scalability, and
reliability.
reliability. Right. Okay. Um, what do you mean by speed here?
Speed means mm, the application speed, like the response time,
Right. So what
how
is
much
response
was
time? What is meant by
the time.
response? Hmm.
Yeah, the time taken, the total time when the user requests for the browser till the user receives the response from the browser.
Right. So the total time, processing time
Processing time plus from the
from the
moment
moment,
user
yeah,
request
sends a request.
sends a request and get the request response from the browser.
Perfect. Right. Till he receives response from the server.
So
Right. Yeah. What are the client side metrics, different client side metrics?
yeah, there are three types of client side metrics. One is response time,
Okay.
transaction response time, and throughput and hits per second.
Okay. What is a transaction? What is meant by a transaction?
Transaction is nothing but a user can browse the application,
Right.
uh,
Can
sends
you
the
can you
request to
list
the
out some
server.
transactions, user transaction
Transactions,
examples?
user transactions,
Can you give some examples for transactions, user transactions?
like when user log into the web application,
Okay.
it is one of
Or
the
is
transaction.
it only web application or any application, mobile application or any other application? Or is it only for web application? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. There is some
Uh,
internet issue on my side. Okay. Yeah,
okay, we can like we can do in the check in the web applications, desktop applications, and mobile applications as well.
right. Perfect. Okay. I will show you some graphs now. So can you try to identify those graphs? Okay. You're able to see my screen, right? So what type of test is this? What type of performance testing does this graph best represent?
It is a load test.
Okay. Can you explain the graph? Like what is x-axis, what is y-axis? Can you?
Yeah, x-axis is the test time,
Okay.
and y-axis is the virtual user. So how many virtual users are using, and the current user till the application is stable. This is the stable point here, the
Okay.
straight line.
Okay. Fine. What type of graph does this represent?
Um, it is stress testing.
Okay. So can you elaborate? Can you explain how does this graph represent a stress test?
It is stress testing is nothing but the gradual increase of the test of the user load.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. And what type of graph does this one represent? What type of test does this graph represent?
This is a spike test,
Okay, perfect. Okay.
sudden increase, like
Right.
the spikes goes up and down.
Okay. And I will highlight some portions of the graph. Can you identify, like, what do we call that? Okay. Let's say, for
Okay.
example, I will go for, load test. And what is this called as? What is this line called as? Or what is this state called as?
The users are accessing,
Huh?
current users
That has a, there is increase in the users, yes, but that has
increase.
some technical term, right? What is that period called as?
Response.
No. And this has some name, and this has some name, right? And this period has some name, right? So this is okay. I'll give some clue, like this is called as ramp up period, right? The time from the time during which, users are ramping,
Users are
that is called
ramping
as
up.
ramp up period. And now what is this period called as?
Number of users are accessing.
Yeah, correct. This represents how many users are accessing this application. But what is this called as? This is called as, just like this is called as ramp up period. This has some name, right? This period has some name, right? Okay. This is called as steady state, right?
Steady state of it. This is
Okay.
ramp down period.
Right. This is called as, can you please be a bit louder?
Ramp down period.
Ramp down period, right? Okay. So are you comfortable? Seems like you are feeling tensed, right?
No.
But you know these concepts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, coming back to performance metrics, I think I asked you, like, what are the different performance
Client side.
metrics, right? Transaction response time, you told transaction response time, and then,
Throughput and hits per second.
okay. So what is meant by throughput?
Throughput is nothing but response, the time between the
Uh-huh.
the request sent by the server and the till the request we receive the response from the server.
That is response time, right? The time from user sending the request till receiving the response from the server, that is response time, right? Transaction response time, right? What is throughput? Okay. What is hits per second? The other one? What is meant by
Number
hit?
of
What is meant by a hit?
hit per second is number of calls that request from to the browser web server.
Right. So number of calls made to the web server, that
Web
is called
server.
as hit.
Hit per second.
And what is the relationship between hits per second and no request per second and hits per second? What is the difference between request per second and hits per second?
So for every request we have different so many for every transaction we have so many hits per second calls we will
So many calls, right?
so
Every
many
transaction
calls.
or every request will have many calls,
Many calls.
right? So what are those many calls? When you say like each request will have so many calls, right? What are those calls?
Like when we log into the some web application, in that subsequent like log registration and login and sub request what we are
Right, sub request, not not sub transactions, sub request, right? Sub request means, can you elaborate what is meant by sub request? So a request will have many keys
commerce.
to the server, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So what are those sub requests?
Sub request, if we are taking the e-commerce site,
Okay.
so there are so many categories in that
Okay. So when you take any transaction, there will be many calls to the server for images, etc., JavaScript files, CSS files, etc., right? Yeah. So please go ahead.
Yeah, when we have the e-commerce site, when we take the e-commerce site, the number of calls is nothing but we have the sub requests like images and what you say, categories,
Right.
shopping
Different
list.
categories on that page. Yeah.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah,
So all those calls are called as sub requests, right?
sub
Okay.
request.
Okay. So yeah. So these are client side metrics. What are those? Transactions, hits per second, and throughput, right? Now what are we'll come to server side metrics later on. Okay. We'll discuss those server side metrics later on. So
Okay.
what is 90th percentile in performance testing? Or what is the
Uh,
significance of 90th percentile in performance testing?
So what is the significance is when we are having the like response, we should take the average response time of the like. Can I show it as example?
Yeah, sure. You want you want to share your screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I stopped my screen share.
Okay. Can you able to see?
No, I'm still not seeing. Okay. Yeah.
So like if we having some
Mm.
so the 98th
What are
percentile
these
is
values,
nothing
first
but
of all? What are these values?
these are the seconds per response time.
Response time values. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Response time values in
Response
seconds, you mean to say. Okay.
in seconds. Yeah.
Okay.
So when we are taking this in average, we are getting the more response time. So
Okay.
response time is very high. The 98th percentile is nothing but this is the 12 seconds. We need to take the 12 seconds is the 98th percentile. It falls under the highest value.
Okay. So how
Uh,
90th percentile is calculated? How is it determined? Suppose I have a 10 samples. Okay. Can you please give me
hmm,
control?
okay.
Okay. I'll give you some 10 samples. Now tell me like 5 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 6 seconds, 4 seconds. Okay. And let's say, once in a while you got some 89 seconds. Then again
Hmm.
you got like 9 seconds. How many values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Comma, comma. Okay. Now, can you tell me what is the 90th percentile for these 10 values? I got 10 values, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So these are, assume that these are 10 sample response times. Now, what
Okay.
is the 90th percentile for all these values?
10 is the 98th percentile.
So, how did you come to that number 10? I mean, how can you say that 90th percentile
Uh,
is number 10? Yeah. Can you
yeah,
explain the
because
process, how it is calculated? Yeah.
yeah, 89 is the highest value in this response time.
Okay.
So we are taking the next highest value as a 90th percentile.
Okay. So we arrange all the values in ascending order and exclude the
Hmm.
extreme high value. Extreme high,
Yes.
1 out of 10 values, right?
Hmm. Yes.
So this is the outlier. This is an outlier, right?
Hmm.
Or odd man out. We do that odd man out and we'll take the next
Take the
value.
next
Next highest value will be considered as
90th
90th.
percentile.
Perfect. Okay. So as you are sharing your screen, so I'll ask you, like some analytical questions. Okay. So
Okay.
you got 30 out of 40 marks in an exam.
Hmm.
Okay. Next one. Okay. Then what is your percentage?
Then 30 by 40 into 100. Can I use the calculator?
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
$75.
Perfect. Okay. How did you get that 75? Can you explain?
Yeah, I got 30 out of 40 into 100. The percentage should be calculated in 100, like
Okay.
into
30 by
100.
40
So,
into 100. Okay. Perfect.
70.
Okay. So suppose, I'll ask some questions on ratios. Okay. Suppose you, okay. No, before ratios, I'll ask one more question. So you bought a product for let's say 120 rupees, 120, and sold it for 150.
Hmm.
Sold it for 150. Okay. What is your profit percentage?
3%.
How much?
3.
Huh?
30 is the profit I got.
30 rupees is the profit. So how
Profit.
much is the percentage? How much is the profit percentage?
3%.
No. See, for 120 rupees investment, you got 30 rupees profit. Okay. And how to calculate percentage? Percentage is nothing but how
100.
much is per 100, isn't it? So for what is the
30
profit
by
per
100.
100 rupees? Okay, simple question, right?
0.3.
No. Oh, you didn't expect these questions. That's why you are feeling touched. See, for 120 rupees, you got a profit of 30 rupees. For 100 rupees, how much is the profit? That will tell you profit percentage. That will tell you your percentage profit. So I gave you the clue also, right? For 120 rupees, you got 30 rupees profit. For 100 rupees investment, what is the profit? That is profit percentage. So how do you calculate this one? Okay. You want me to explain? Huh? 100 into 30
100 into 30 by 120.
by 120. How much it comes to?
225. Sorry, only 25.
25%. Okay. Simple, right? Simple or no?
Yes. Yes.
For 100 rupees, you got 25, right? For additional 20 rupees, you got 5 rupees profit. So total 30 rupees profit.
That,
Right. Or else, you see, if you see this, 30 rupees is 1/4 of 120, right? 1/4 of 120, right? That means 25%, isn't it? Okay. Now I'll ask you another question. So similar question, but with the different numbers. Okay. So you bought a product for 150. Okay. Now you have to tell this. Okay. You have bought a product for 150 rupees and sold it for 180.
Okay.
Now what is your profit percentage? Here also you got 30 rupees profit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But what is your profit percentage?
20%.
20%. Right. Perfect. Okay. Now, okay. One last question on these aptitude questions. Okay. So let's assume that there are 720 guests in a party. Okay. I'll take some other number otherwise. 720. Okay. There are 540 guests in a party.
Okay.
party. Okay. Out of which men and women are in the ratio of men and women are in the ratio of 4:5. Okay.
Okay.
Now, how many men are there? How many women are there? And how many women are there in the party? Understood the question? So there are 540 guests in a party, out of which men and women are in the ratio of 4:5. Okay.
Okay.
Now tell me, like, how many men are there and how many women are there as per this ratio?
60.
Hmm?
60.
What
60
60?
are men.
Okay, 60 men. Okay. 480 would be remaining. Is that correct?
No, no, no.
Okay. Hey, wait. Something is getting clicked on, I think, from your side.
Okay.
You want to use any calculator?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead. I'll leave in control of your machine. Okay.
Just like I'm remembering the basic, like we are, I don't know the shortcuts. I'm doing the process.
No need of shortcuts. Okay, for this. So, okay, let me give some clue. So, suppose if you take number of people as X, right? So, men will be 4X and women will be 5X. So, total 9X will be 540.
Next
I
means
almost gave the
for,
answer.
yeah, X equal to 540 by 9.
You don't need
Five.
shortcuts for this.
Yeah, I did like that only. So 60, X equal to 60.
Right.
So 4x is to 5x, right? So 4
Total
into
men, what is the
60,
number of total men?
total men,
Huh.
240.
Okay.
300 is the woman.
Okay. Can you type the answer there? Also, there is a typo there. Please correct it. One is
Men
equal
is
to this
240
one, 240. Okay.
and 300 women.
300 is woman. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So see, so you can expect these kind of questions also in the interviews. Okay. So you should
Okay.
be like prepared for that, right? And these are simple questions. No need of any additional preparation, right?
Yeah.
So only thing is like you should be ready for that. You should be like mentally ready for that. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So now, yeah. So let me go to again performance testing concepts. Okay. What are the different types of performance testing?
Load testing,
Okay.
soap testing,
Okay.
spike testing,
Okay.
stress testing,
Uh-huh.
volume testing,
Okay.
scalability testing.
Okay. So what are the different types that you executed in your projects? What
Load
are the
test,
different performance tests that you executed? Yeah, load test and
smoke test.
okay. So yeah. So what is a load test?
Load test is the test we run for the current users on the expected workload.
Okay. Load test is something which performance testing which we do with current user
Expected
load or expected
user
user
load.
load. Okay. So what is a soak test?
So
Test
test
has
is
some name, some other name also, right? What is
endurance testing.
right? Endurance, or there is one more name, another name also, right? That is longevity test. Okay. Some people use this term called longevity. Okay. Now, yeah, what is a soak test, or soak or endurance test or longevity test?
It is a long durational test
Okay.
based on the business workflow, and it is
Done
used
based on,
to
no, no. When you say long business hours, on what basis it is determined?
like it is used to find the bottleneck of the application, like memory leaks
Okay. Yeah.
and CPU utilization,
Okay. Okay. What
network
is the main objective
utilization.
of soak test?
You have to find the bottlenecks of the application.
To find the bottlenecks. Then what is the object of load test and other tests? What
It
is
is
the
also
objective
to
of
find
load test,
the
test and yeah. So all the types of testing are used to find the bottlenecks of the
bottlenecks.
performance issues of the application, right? So, but soak or endurance test has some specific objective, a specific purpose, right? So, what is that specific objective of doing soak test? You mentioned it already, right?
Like when we are continuously doing the, when we are adding the users continuously.
Okay. There may be some memory leaks. You already mentioned that, right? That is the main objective of doing a soak test, right? Finding the memory leaks of the application.
Memory leaks.
And only memory leaks. There are
No,
other, one other leaks, that you can identify. Another category of leaks that you can identify. Connection leaks, right?
connection leaks. Yeah.
Identify connection leaks as well. So now, what is a memory leak? What is the meaning of a memory leak?
Memory leak is nothing but the percentage, the memory, like paging percentage.
No. So what is heap memory? What is meant by heap memory? Okay. So I'll go to JMeter. Okay. I'll come back to this. Okay. I'll come back to this answer. Okay. Come back to this concept like Java memory leaks and all. What is Java heap memory? Right. We'll discuss this. We'll come back to this. So you have experience on JMeter, right?
Yes.
So yeah. So with how many users you executed test with JMeter? What is the maximum user load that you tested with JMeter?
Like below 5,000.
5,000. Okay. So how many machines you used for that 5,000 user load to ramp up to 5,000 user load?
For 5,000, we use only one machine.
Used only one machine? Can we ramp? Can we?
No, it is in the executed in non-GUI.
Non-GUI mode. Okay. What is the command for executing test in non-GUI mode? Can you write it down? Can you write the command? So what does that -n represent? What is the meaning of
Non-GUI mode. JMeter,
-n
non-GUI mode.
Okay. What is the -t?
Time.
Is it time? Are you sure?
Test.
Right. Test plan name. Your test plan name. -t should be followed by what next?
Test plan name.
Right, yeah, write it down. Use a placeholder there. Use space and keep a placeholder. Okay. Okay, fine. Write it down. Right. Okay. Give single word. Okay. Otherwise, that it will be confused as is it a space or, space in the command or, yeah, perfect. Test plan name. Okay, next.
-O.
Where is the results file? Suppose I want to collect the results, right? I want to collect the test results, right?
Yeah,
Is it -R?
sorry. Slash.
No. Right. Don't give spaces again. Okay. Give that as a single word. Results file name. Okay. Okay. So we'll come back to this. Okay. I'll come back to this question. Okay. What are the different elements of JMeter? Can you explain okay, before going to that, can you explain the script recording process in JMeter?
Yeah, first we need to launch the JMeter and there is an default core element called test plan
Okay.
element. Under the test plan, we need to add the thread groups.
Okay.
And after adding the thread groups, we need to add the non-test element called HTTP script recorder.
Okay.
And with the HTTP script recorder, we need to add the listeners called views result stream
Okay.
for the record log. And
Okay.
we need to create XML file for the record log.
Okay.
And next we need to add the controllers, logic controller, transaction controllers.
Okay. Under which element we need
Under thread group.
thread
Under
group element?
thread
Okay.
group, we need to add the transaction element, transaction controllers. And next we need to set the proxy.
Okay.
The default proxy of the with the JMeter is 88848.
Okay. What is that? What is the default? What is the 8888?
Port number.
Port number. That is the default port number of JMeter.
Default
Right.
port number.
Okay.
Of the JMeter. Then again, if we are running the HTTPS request, we need to import the JMeter's root CS certificate.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you show me the process?
Yeah.
How do you import the JMeter root CS certificate to the browser? Can you show me how to do that? Where is that certificate file?
We need to copy this from the JMeter properties.
No. I asked how to import the root CS certificate, JMeter's root CS certificate to the browser. I think you did not understand my question. No, you are showing, I think you understood my question wrongly. So I did not ask, how to increase the validity of the certificate. I'm asking
Okay.
how to import the certificate to your browser. Can you show me the certificate file in JMeter bin folder? Yes.
Here it is.
Okay. How to import this certificate to your browser?
Install certificate.
Which browser are you going to install it? We don't install it, right?
No.
How to import the certificate to the browser?
Yeah. In browser, we need to search settings.
Yeah, you are correct till here. Search settings, what should we? Yes.
So here we need to search with cert.
Certificate. Search for certificates. Which browser are you using for recording?
Chrome.
Are you using Chrome or Firefox?
Firefox we need to use.
Okay. Here also,
But
you can
here
go to
also we can
you can
import.
do that. Search for certificates. Go to security. Security or site settings, where it will be? Security, okay.
Yeah, here.
Okay. Yeah, complete that process. No, not this one, right? Okay. So which tab, to which tab we should down? Oh, wait, please wait. Click cancel. Click cancel. Okay. In which tab are we now? We are in personal tab. Where should we import that certificates?
In JMeter bin.
Correct. So here we
Trusted
have,
root certificate.
right. Okay. So you can have some water if you are feeling tensed or you want to take a break. Okay. You can have a quick break by having some. So click on browse, right? There you have browse button, right? You can click on browse over there, right? No need to go to copy the path. Then
Okay.
click on browse. Yes. And which JMeter version are you using currently?
5.5 version.
Okay. You know what is the latest version of JMeter?
Yeah, 5.5 version.
No. There is one more version released after that. Select the certificate. Yeah, you are right till now. Select the certificate. Okay. Okay. Import was successful. Okay.
Successful.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. So let me ask some questions on JMeter then. Okay. So you mentioned like how to record the script. Okay. Then what are the steps in the script enhancement? JMeter script enhancement.
Yeah, first we need to check and identify the third party, remove the third party URLs if there are any third party URLs.
Okay.
Then if there are then we need to do the correlation concept.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, parameterization and next correlation
Okay.
and timers
Okay.
and response sessions.
Okay.
And we need to check the script for multiple iterations.
Okay.
And also we need to check the script for multiple users.
Okay.
And next error handling and pacing.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So what are the different elements that you use for correlation?
Uh, Correlation boundary extractor and regular expression extractor.
Okay. So suppose you can do one correlation using both. You can do a correlation. What is meant by correlation first of all?
Correlation is nothing but the identifying the. It is a process of uh, identifying
Hmm.
the dynamic values.
Okay.
Identifying the dynamic values and send it to the next request
Okay.
and placing it
Identifying
to the
and
next
handling the
request.
dynamic values, right?
Handling and yeah,
Hmm. And send it to the subsequent
next
next request.
next request.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So suppose you can correlate a dynamic value using both boundary extractor and regular expression extractor. Okay. Which one do you
Okay.
prefer and why?
We prefer regular boundary extractor unless until if boundary extractor does not work, then we will go to the regular expression extractor.
Okay, perfect. But why? What is the reason?
Like mostly we'll use the Boundary
There should be some
extractor.
reason, right? Why do you prefer boundary extractor than regular expression extractor? Right? Some people can argue that they can use, regular expression extractor is preferable. Okay, but what is the reason? Why should we prefer boundary extractor than regular expression extractor?
To get the correct dynamic, if we are using the more correlation concepts in
Uh,
the script, we
okay.
prefer regular expression extractor.
Okay. No, that is not the actual reason. Boundary extractor is faster than regular expression extractor, right? Compared to regular expression extractor, boundary extractor is faster. Okay, that's the actual reason. So we should prefer boundary extractor if it works. Only when boundary extractor doesn't work, then we have to go for regular expression extractor. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Next. So what is the parameterization?
A set of placing the test data for the performance testing
Okay.
script.
What do you mean by test data?
What we used to test. For example, if in the like if you want to you for the user registration, the test data is usernames, passwords, and emails, address.
Okay.
These are the test data. What we need to
Okay.
do the testing
So
performance
okay.
testing script.
What is the difference between authentication and authorization?
Authentication is nothing.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. What is the difference between authentication and
Yeah,
authorization?
authentication is nothing but validating your user credentials,
Okay.
and authorization is nothing but giving the access to the users.
No, giving access, is it giving access or verifying access privileges? One second, seems like my internet is. Yeah, what is authorization?
Verifying the access privileges.
What is meant by access privileges?
Access privileges means nothing but read, write access
Okay. So permissions, read, write permissions.
permissions. Yes.
Whether the user has read permission or write permission,
Right.
right? That is called as
Yes. Authorization.
authorization, right? Okay. So yeah, what are the different monitoring tools that we use? So we'll have 5 more minutes. Okay, so we'll come to a conclusion. So, what are the different monitoring tools that you used in your projects or in your experience?
Perfmon.
Okay.
Perfmon for the Windows operating system,
Okay.
and Nmon is for Linux.
Are you still using Perfma?
No.
Perfman you might have used some time back, right? So, what
Yeah.
are the monitoring tools that you are using currently? Any other
Was
monitoring
it
tools are you that you are using?
MongoDB.
No, I'm asking monitoring tools. What is MongoDB, by the way?
Okay, it is a
What is
database
MongoDB?
server.
Uh-huh.
Database server.
Database server, yes, but it has some significance, right? It is something different from relational databases, right? From SQL and all these, right? MySQL, Microsoft SQL. There is a difference between this MySQL and Microsoft SQL databases, right?
Yes.
Your laptop
And
is
Java Melody.
okay. Java Melody is the other monitoring tool that you
Java.
are using. It seems
Yes.
like your laptop is, battery is draining.
Okay, just a minute. Stop.
Yeah. Okay, that's all from my side, Anuja. So we are done with the first round. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, there is a preliminary. You can assume that you can consider this as a preliminary screening round or a
Okay.
first round of technical interview. Okay. So, but you need some more preparation. Okay, for next levels of interviews. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the best, Anuja. Okay. I will close it here for today.
Thank you, Pavan.
And we'll have few more mock interviews. Okay. So,
Yeah, sure.
so I will schedule like the next mock interviews with the help of my friends. Okay,
Okay.
who will be taking interviews regularly in their companies. All right.
Okay.
Because I know what I covered in the training, right? So, but you should also attend those interviews, like by some third party persons, some other persons, outsiders, right? Yeah, please be prepared and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.